Good day. Good day. Good day. Today is the 28th day of the fifth month of the year 2024 on the Gregorian calendar. Just doing a little check in with you. And I'm hoping this will really find someone who is in need. I've been watching social media, watching people's reactions to what's happening around them. Some of them I have understanding and compassion for the reactions. And what I want to do is give you some tools to help fortify you in this time of change because change can be difficult, right? And with change, I just want to share this. There are different stages of change, right? And when I say change, I mean changing into a more peaceful world, right? Less hunger, less war, less bickering, more function, more life, more light, more energy, more peace, more truth, more harmony and balance. That is what we are moving into, right? But people, we tend to get into, I'm not in my normal location. We tend to get into patterns where some might call it like learned helplessness or there are other ways to describe what I'm addressing with what I'm sharing with you right now. But it's just this feeling of, oh, these things happening around me are so terrible. And it's stressful, and this is how it's going to be, and where I'm going to stay in this paradigm. We tend to sometimes go into victimhood and not be able to see the light. Now, the light is what is true and what is right and what is life, honor, and courage. And so I just want to share a few things with you that will help you, help guide you on this way. Now, my background is as a professional helper. I've helped individuals, people, children, adults, communities, come up with plans to help make some of the cooperative agreements that are already in place better for people. I'm into transformation, all right? And I know that there are several moving wheels. Some of these things that help us is having good problem solving skills, being able to identify a problem, properly assess it, analyze it, properly come up with some strategies to correct the situation. More so, first, it starts with ourselves, how we address things, and then also using the wellness model to look at what's happening around us. People, we live in an environment, right? First of all, we live within our own selves, so we have our own thoughts and we have our own customs and beliefs. All right. That's one environment, your own body, your own experience. All right. Another is we live within families, and then we live within communities. We live within this world, this whole global community. And depending on where you are in the world is going to really shape what you are called to do, your culture, your skills, your gifts, your talents. All these things shape how you show up. So it is not for me to tell you how to show up. However, I think I am called to help you define, redefine how you want to show up. I want to give you some courage and give you some skills. All righty. So a couple of things prompted this. Well, a few things. One of them is, watching this violence committed in the state of California. I know that couldn't happen because just one person had a deviant behavior. That's not how it works, right? It has to be a whole breakdown of a system to allow something like that to happen. And I want to not share it today, but just share with you the perspective, the logic model that I use to break down situations rather than sitting around feeling helpless. Oh, why is this happening? Oh, this is so terrible. No, it happened a while ago, and so it was terrible then. And what's terrible now is that there's not a solution on the table to fix it. And so part of that I will share with you a little bit later. But I want to give you the same skill set so that you can apply this to the different things that are closest to you and your heart and your life. Okay, that's one situation that I saw that motivated me to speak. Another is watching the Congress people go back and forth. What rule should we apply now? Oh, no, this rule, that rule. You know, I watched people who are supposed to be colleagues who are supposed to show up for the people in North America. Well, we think they're supposed to show up for us, but that's not really true. We're supposed to show up for us to be our own safety and our own guide. And what we don't want to do is to leave the Congress people without a skill set on how to get along with each other during this change of transition. And this is the coming of the end of an age and into a new age, a peaceful age. Okay, so I saw the argument, insult. It was straight. At one point, it was a little bit of harassment, which is mutual people speaking ill to each other, and then it just turned into straight bullying. As I saw somebody, kei'yah somebody or another, was on Facebook bullying the Congresswoman, excuse me, bullying the Congresswoman from Georgia. The woman was the Congresswoman was standing there minding her own business, and then someone came up to her and bullied her by making disparaging comments when the woman wasn't bothering her at all. That is not good. It's not acceptable, and we have to all be accountable for our actions during this time. And with the internet and things like that out there, we can learn ways that are not any good for us, but we can also learn how to communicate better, all right, how to show up better. That's not acceptable. That hurt my feelings. A third thing that I observed was a man, a Caucasian man. He was making some really good points about the times that we're in. You know, like, we are not fools. We people here in North America, we are not fools. We watch the news. This is the information age. So he was crying because he was noticing the patterns that we have here, where many of the people here have been employed into jobs that bring us harm, all right, and we feel used, and many of us are struggling to come into a pattern, a way of life to make sure that our needs are met, our safety needs, our housing needs, our food needs, our need for recreation, our need for community, these type of things. So I wanted to speak to that because he made good points when he talked about what did he talk about? When he talked about the threat of violence that is around us, like right now. There's a threat of violence that is around us right now. There were people who shared what they experienced right before 9/11, and it's that same type of threat of violence that we're observing right now. And we're noticing that the same people are benefiting from that violence. And so it doesn't feel very good. We could feel a lack of empowerment, but I'm not going to fall into that, because I know that as long as we're here, we have an opportunity to heal, we have an opportunity to know ourselves, and we have an opportunity to grow. So, this is my check in to introduce some things that I hope will help you. Now, one is I just want to talk about the strengths here at that the people have here in North America, the strengths about what happens on this continent. First of all, there is nation state after nation state right next to each other. And amongst each other, there's no physical fighting. All right. This is something that a lot of other, that some other continents don't have. They'll have neighbors that they're at war with. We can see this on TV. And that fact that we don't have that is an opportunity for us to talk to each other and to team up and to stand up for what is true and what is right and what is pure. Okay. And that is one of the strengths of the United States. Why the global economy has depended on us. And so let's not minimize that and the opportunity we have. And I'm talking about various heritage, skin colors, people of various rights and that sort of thing, right? So someone with first rights to the land is not a more or less valuable people than someone who are visitors or immigrants here, right? They're all valuable people. Excuse me. Okay. So I am speaking to people who are in their various career paths. I'm speaking to those who are searching for what career paths they want to be on, those who feel hopeless, don't have any plans, don't really know what to do, and the economy is not being kind to them. Those who've had funds snatched from their public banking accounts, right? I'm speaking to all these people, right? And I want to give you, like I said, some tools on which to move. I can't give it to you all in just a few minutes, but I'm going to start somewhere, right? And then my goal is to contribute to this journey of peace that we're on, to this change, to this swinging of the pendulum, coming from the patriarchy, coming from colonialism, and into the nationalization of our resources, because that is what is happening right now. And so we have to be able to speak on a thing, to be able to address a thing, and to heal and fix a thing. Okay? So that is the tension. That is the tension. And I will come back to you a little bit later on to help you conceptualize all the different factors as to why this is happening. Part of it is the time we are in, celestially in the heavens, the time that we're in. All these eclipses that went by, they mean something, all right? And it is a shift in energy. That's part of it. Part of it is that the financial system that we're in, this is it's not sustainable. Does that mean that I'm saying that it needs to collapse or go away? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, as you see with cryptocurrency and some other accepted values of exchange, that there are changes taking place. It is what it is. In life, nothing stays still. There's always movement. There's always development. It could be you're going regressing in development, or you're moving forward. And when we move forward, when we gain something, we always lose something. This is a theory, but I mean, you can see it to be true. Let's say a baby gains the ability to walk when before they were only able to crawl. So they gained the ability to walk. But what did they lose? Maybe they lost that piece where everyone would pick them up or hold them to take them from one place to another. And maybe they don't feel like walking. Yes, they can walk, but maybe they don't feel like walking. Maybe they want to be picked up, right? So it might be less opportunities for them to be picked up and have that close care, or maybe they might sit in a rocking chair all the time. Well, now that you can walk around, maybe you don't get that relaxing rocking chair as much. This is just one example of when we develop into one stage, how we'll always lose something. And maybe that thing that we lose is not always of that greater value, but sometimes it is. And so, what's happening with people now is that we have this opportunity to have our thinking be orderly, be peaceful, right? And to claim some of our rights that we have been abandoning. This is something that we've gained, particularly, well, I'll just leave it like that in general. And this is based on declarations, it's just based on where we are in time. This is what we gained. And we have technology, we have the internet, we have the way to look up things. Something we've also lost. We've lost this idea, this valid argument of like, how can I say this? This everybody, there's like no way for me to come out of this negative situation. Someone has to help me. That is over. I mean, who is really, as far as who outside of you, who's really lining up to help you out of a situation? Now, I'm not trying to say that there's not help for us, but as people here at North America with our different issues, like we have to help ourselves. We have to come together. We have to teach each other, and we have to be willing to learn and willing to humble ourselves and willing to work together, willing to recognize that maybe we've made mistakes. Not maybe we've made mistakes, that we have made mistakes, and compassionately forgive ourselves and forgive others and learn how to navigate in a way that will bring peace and order, not just here in North America, but around the world too. Really, this is something that's very important. And then those who are in a place of power, the elite or what have you, also may have been in positions where they're benefiting from the resources of the people, right? This is an opportunity to check yourselves as well. Look in the mirror. What have I done? How have I used secrecy? How have I been playing both sides of the board, um, the chessboard, and then putting people against each other, um, putting out 5, 6, 7, 8 different narratives of what order is, and just gaining off of the oppression of people. This era has changed, but that doesn't mean that it has to, one has to just go on high. One still has a responsibility to adjust and to show up in a way that is order. And those who do so gracefully, courageously, peacefully, will reap the rewards for that. It just is what it is. All right. So I have a hypothesis on what'll help. I'm going to just today share with you a framework from these are principles and values, principles, strategies that I'm not making up. These are things that are ancient that are put into this framework that will help you today. All right. And I'm gonna start general, and then over the next couple of days, share just a little bit with you. One of the things is to frequently check in. That's important. To frequently check in with people who are working for change. Okay, I'm going to share with you the project management model of Scrum, which includes many disciplines and learnings about what we know as how we've come as a people so far. I'm talking about around the world. These are like universal things, ways of communication. What I want to share is values, the importance of values. These 5 values that'll help fortify you. And this is from the Scrum Agile model. All right, so commitment to whatever it is that you are working on. Commitment to yourself, commitment to others. Focus, openness, respect, and courage. Okay, just going to give you the overview of these. And the pillars that we can apply to us moving down the field toward peace. All right, away from the fraud, away from the fiat, away from the wars. All right, transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Transparency, inspection, and adaptation. So, watching those hearings, is it okay that someone who is supposed to be the leader of a corporation who's making sure that we get all the services that we need, that they hold records from their colleagues? Is this transparent, right? So this is something that I see that the Congress people are working hard to keep in place on this matter anyway. All right. Transparency is important, and we have to get comfortable with transparency. And the rule with this too is to do things in a way so that you can be transparent later on about it. All right. Transparency, inspection. Inspection is important because absolute power corrupts absolutely. So when you do things in the dark, you do things in secret, then there's a chance for a breakdown. There's a risk that whatever it is you're trying to accomplish won't be accomplished because you don't want what you do to be inspected. You just want to go on about your way without being accountable or responsible to anyone else. No. And then once we find something that is a way that needs to be adjusted, we want to be able to adapt to that situation. All right. So this is very important. These are the pillars of the Scrum model that I'm sharing with you. All right. Some of the principles of the model are empirical process control. Empirical process control has to do with measuring and evaluating and measuring. And there are many ways to do that. All right. But even just as an individual, how you might measure your own processes is start out at you could do it the night before or the next day. Have a goal for yourself, right? And you write the goal down. And at the end of the day, you measure did you accomplish that goal or not. And we could get into goal setting because we could just spend a couple days on goal setting alone, right? Setting the right goals, how to set a goal, what a good goal is, how it affects the whole, and what have you. And this is just the individual, not even working on teams. All right. Self-organization are one of the principles. So that's why the powers that be spend so much time trying to make sure that people are not organized, right? Having processes where There are companies, there are private companies that are paid to go in and to keep people disorganized, to flat tires, to spread lies, to oppress, to mess up your finances, to just keep you disorganized, right? That's why so much energy is put into that. Because when things are orderly and peaceful, some have not moved into that mindset of how to navigate in an orderly and peaceful world. So, inspection and adaptation, back to like the principles, right? A little bit different than the pillars, but um, inspection and adaptation as one piece together. So, iteration development. So, this means, first of all, a day could be considered an iteration of something, a particular time period that you measure things, that you set goals and come back and measure it. An iteration might be over a week, it might be over 2 weeks or 1 month. Now, what you want to do is decide early on how often you are going to measure, how often you are going to set goals to like re-inspect a thing, to have feedback with your own self or with others. All right. This is important to help keep organized, because if you don't do it like that, then you'll get on a journey where you don't come back and check in a timely way, because when you do something matters, right? And then main principle is working collaboratively, right? And we could get into all sorts of communication strategies to make sure that you're able to work collaboratively with others, right? The first is being able to engage, being able to engage. And many of us are attacked in many ways that keep us from engaging with others. But that does not mean not to start over with wherever you are. Start where you are with engaging, and be able to inspect whatever your barriers are with collaborating with others. If there are barriers to you collaborating with others, address them. Are there legal barriers? Are you put under some kind of legal restraint where you cannot? You must address it. Researching, and I'll share with you some of my journey on that, but that's a major thing. And are you why you would even be under such legal restraint is a matter in itself. A lot of people have beliefs that don't serve this new era of peace, right? A lot of us are enacting someone else's belief and thought about what works. Now, whatever people have been doing before, I would ask, is it working or not, as evidenced by what we see happening in the world? A lot of what we've been doing has not been working very well. So, whatever it is good, whatever it is working, we're going to keep that. We're going to value that. We're going to cherish that. We're always going to honor people. We're always going to honor people. And then we're also going to eliminate and get out of our lives the things that do not serve us. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. But it takes proper planning. Proper planning prevents poor performance. That's the clean version of it. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And so that is part of what I wanted to give you today. I encourage everybody, look up the Scrum model, all right? And you can probably take some inexpensive classes for free. Anyone who's in a leadership position, whatever your expertise is, it's your responsibility to learn how to grab a hold of some models that work. The old project management model of where you just go build a thing and then you let the waterfall go of however it turns out, this is old. and this is antiquated, and there's no place for it today when it comes to moving forward with people collaboratively. I'm not trying to say there's no place for that model at all, but it's going to be a blend of what I'm talking about as far as having compassion for yourself, having compassion for others, wanting to move quickly, not coming up with a plan and applying a plan. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's a waste of time, a waste of resources, a waste of energy. Know who you are, right? Know who you are and what you have to contribute, and team up with people who have that same mindset. All right, so I just want to leave you with that. It's a little bit more than a check-in, right? It was a check-in, and it was also a challenge to think positive. Try to embrace and exude the energy of whatever it is you want, right? Whatever it is you want when it comes to having a peaceful existence, all right? To share with the world your gifts and your talents, whatever they are, and to really uplift each other. Because I know from over the years of helping people in many walks of life and my own journey in life that having a appropriate view of things is very important. And there are some who will manipulate you in their own fear, in their own anxiety. They will try to manipulate you into being someone who they want you to be. Hence, we have this mess in the world right now, where Congress people can't even get through a meeting without displaying bad behavior and bullying each other. And then we have a way of fixing it in our minds that we've done the best we could and that we're justified in despicable behavior. And I challenge that. I challenge you to be your best today and every day, and to think positive and write it down. I'm not trying to say have magical thoughts. You can have realistic thoughts and then move in that and do all that you can to to overcome and to be light. All right, I check in with you. Peace.